Welcome back to Front Row Cinema, a movie podcast for movie lovers by movie lovers. I am your host, TJ Trimboli, and with me, as always, my co-host. I got tinfoil professor of quantum mechanics in the house tonight. Give Mr. James O'Reilly.
It's gonna get weird. The whole trying to explain time travel thing is gonna enter into realms that I didn't think it would ever get to this
I
week.
was going to say, of all of the time travel shenanigans that we've gone into so far on this show, which honestly I think has only been once or twice, the Planet of the Apes one, and then I think maybe there was one other one that we briefly touched on. I think this is the headiest into time travel we're going to get tonight.
Yeah, I mean there was the Planet of the Apes one, which actually was pretty interesting. I think, even though you think my tinfoil hat is like firmly on for my Planet of the
Well,
Apes
that
theory.
that movie was the reason we gave you the tinfoil hat in the first place.
Yeah, and then there was Black Knight, also had some time
Oh,
travel,
yes, you're right.
which
Black Knight.
spent a lot less time worrying about how it works than any of
Yep.
the other movies, and I think that might have just been those two.
With Terminator 3.
Oh, right, Terminator 3, right, like kind
Yeah,
of
Terminator
classically.
3. Yeah, and Jim, come on, probably one of your favorite instances, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, of course, right, yeah, yeah. So, all right, so it's been a handful, yeah.
Yeah, more than we thought. So we've been building to it, and I think we're finally ready to really dive in to a big piece of time travel lore. So, Jim, what are we watching tonight?
We're watching Primer.
Yes, a 2004 indie sci-fi film. Easy bona fides right here. Written, directed, produced, starred, scored by Shane Carruth. Look at that. We
Yeah,
banged it all out in
yeah,
one go.
one guy.
One guy. Good for you, Shane Carruth. Uh, for no DVD, Jim. It's sad to say, I do not have the 2004 indie classic hidden away somewhere in the vault.
I'm kind of glad that I finally was able to stump you on one because
Yeah.
I don't even know if there are DVDs of the movie Primer. I don't know if they were ever made.
It's true, yeah, because it's not like there's like a distributor for this movie or anything. It was just at like Sundance or whatever, right? This never got like a wide release or anything.
It was a Sundance movie, and if I remember correctly, I was first introduced to it through like the IFC channel.
Ooh,
And
okay.
like I don't know if it ever actually got like distributed on DVD. Maybe like I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. I'll do some digging. I'll see if I can find a copy in my travels.
I mean, I'm looking at one on Amazon right now. That's $29.84.
Yeah, okay.
And that's 50% off. It was originally
Highway robbery.
it was originally 59.55, which
Dude,
I don't know if that's just some fancy Amazon math for being like this will make you feel better about paying $30 for this DVD, but I don't know.
$60 for a movie that's an hour and 17 minutes.
Well,
They
my
better have some
guess
they
would
better have some
be
good bonus features on there.
yeah, my guess would be that there's not a lot of these in existence, right? Like that how many DVD copies of Primer are there?
Is Shane selling these out of the trunk of his car? Is that why it's costing us $60 on layaway here?
Indetermined. Do not know. What I would say though, if I was a collector of DVDs, I would probably want to buy this because like it seems like a real good collector's piece to me. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Not for $30. I'm not letting that reverse psychology hit me. The dopamine's not that hard to need to collect everything.
Well, no, it's just like if you were gonna have a DVD collection, this seems like it would be like one of the
All
like
right.
it's not like the most famous, but it's like when you go into Pawn Stars and he's like, "Oh my God, you've got the 1984 Indian nickel?" Like, no way. And,
All
like,
right. Add to cart. Check out. Fine. I did it. This movie, not a big logline here, short and sweet and to the point, depicts the events surrounding the accidental discovery of time travel.
yeah, much like the movie, not a lot of detail.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't find a more apropos logline that doesn't talk about any of the characters in the movie than this one. It's just
Yeah,
so
right, right.
appropriately fits. It's like, yeah. Now this obviously first time watch for me, and I had only ever heard of this movie and that it had to deal with time travel. Never knew anything else about it. So this is like a really a first time coming into for me. Was this isn't your first time watching this, is it? Have you've come across this movie before? When was your first dalliance with Primer?
Yeah, so this is my first time watching it in a long time, for sure. But I used to watch this a lot when it first came out.
Or
Because
the
like I said,
movies?
like it was on IFC like pretty regularly. I don't know if you remember IFC.
Oh, I remember that.
Like there was a point when IFC literally just played independent films. And at some point it got out of that like and started playing a bunch of other stuff too. But this, and like, believe it or not, there wasn't that many independent films that were worthy of putting on IFC to fill like 24 hours of programming in a day.
The all
So
Primer
like
station.
IFC pretty famously used to have like infomercials on it because they were just like they were just like we need to fill this time
Build the
somehow.
airwaves.
Yeah, like if you pay us, we'll put whatever you want on there, right? Um, and so like, but Primer was like a big, like highly touted independent film at the time, so it was on there like a good amount. Yeah, like it was, and I probably saw this like 5 or 6 times, like not necessarily even the whole time through, but just like in various different sittings, which I
Oh
think honestly, I think helps me understand it a little better. The fact that I didn't watch it like in the order the movie presents it all the time.
my God. You actually watched it in the way the time travel mechanic worked. So you started at like 9 a.m. and then you like turned it off and then started at 3 a.m. and went back again.
Right, right. But yeah, this was though like this was like an independent movie at the time where I remember hearing a lot of good buzz about it and like honestly like enjoying it a lot when I watched it.
It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. And it's a beautiful home for itself on that independent film channel because nobody saw this movie. But again, I don't think this had a distributor. I don't think we're going to really dive into some huge box office numbers here, Jim. But I am interested to see what box office, if any, this thing managed to pull out. So let's cue it up. Let's dive into some box office numbers.
Numbers, dates, and numbers, numbers, dates, hooray. Dates, numbers. Show me the money.
Our low man on the totem pole so far, Jim, for the movies we've done, the lowest opening is the Motorcycle Diaries at 158,000. Does this
Yeah.
movie come in lower or not? It's
I
got it,
mean
right?
we already said that it opens on like 4 screens I think in an earlier episode. So but here's the important thing, right? The budget for this movie $7,000.
My word. Yeah, that is cheap.
That's got to be hands down the lowest one we've ever seen, right? Like doing the show.
Definitely the lowest budget we've come across. That for sure.
I mean, like they may. I feel like we've done movies where it's like two guys in a grocery store for the whole movie, and they're like $25 million, and it's like, how? Like, what? Are you guys
They're like
sure you're not laundering money through these? Like,
they're like, no, we actually fully stock the supermarket that they're
yeah,
stuck
we actually built that grocery store from
in.
the ground up. But so like that's the first thing. This literally is just like a dude, like Shane Carruth, I think is how you pronounce his name. Like you said in the beginning, with like a few grand and like a camera and an idea, baby, and he's just going for it, right?
Man had a dream.
Yeah, so against that $7,000 budget, we already talked about this. This is our dalliance into Indigenous Peoples Day weekend.
Ooh,
October 8th through the 10th of
man gave the finger to
2004.
Christopher Columbus' statue.
Yeah, that's right. You can say that again. Um, and like we said, Primer, we mentioned it opens down in 59th. It's only on 4 screens. Pulls in though $28,162. So like 4 times its budget in its opening weekend, which I don't know that we've done another movie that you could say that for.
That is that's really good. Especially only if we're on four screens too. I wonder what the per theater average is on that. I who can do math really quick because it ain't me.
Well, let's see. Hold on. I can let you know that the average per
28
screen
divided by four.
the average per screen was $7,040. So it like made its
So it
budget
made its budget
per
back in
screen
every
like
spot it was in. Yeah. So like
yeah.
that's a win right there. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
Plus,
very
I mean
impressive.
like if I'm Shane Carruth, I'm like, dude, no way. You're telling me I just made 30 grand like this weekend? That's incredible. Like I wish I could do that like next weekend. That'd be great.
Yeah, right. And let's say like you like that seven is investors that he has to give back. You're still walking away with like a cool like 22, $23,000.
Yeah, I mean, would you like would you need investors for 7 grand? Like at what point are you just
I don't
like,
know, maybe
I'm just gonna save up for a few years and I'll have my
possible.
budget? Like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's possible. Yeah, you're not wrong. But so yeah, I mean, pulls in 4 times its budget. Going into weekend two, it's gonna get wide release here. Gonna be released on 19 screens.
Oh boy, now it's pumping with gasoline.
It's gonna pull in $53,551 in weekend two. That's a
Man,
90.2% jump.
that's some good word of mouth traveling right there.
Yeah, I mean, the word of mouth traveled to the 19 screens anyway.
Well, especially for 2004, like
Yeah, its per screen average though drops all the way down to $2,818. So,
it makes sense though. The more screens you're on, the more that like is going to spread
yeah,
out.
you mean the number's a little skewed when it's only four?
Oh yeah, go figure.
um, Going into weekend three, and I mean, like, it's never gonna break the top 10, right? So, like,
No,
I
it's
will
not.
just
Yeah,
stop after, like, we'll get to its peak of screens, which is in a couple of weeks here. Weekend three, it's gonna go on to 29 screens, 13.9% jump up to $60,981.
like it's a small little indie, but it chugs along and it just keeps building upon week over week. Like that's very impressive.
I mean, at this point, Shane Carruth is literally making a salary every weekend. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's like
right.
a stellar investment of that $7,000.
Dollar signs in the eyes.
Right. And
Already
then
quitting his job at home.
right. Weekend four, it's finally gonna be on its peak of 31 screens. We're also gonna see a drop finally. It drops 30.3%, down to $42,512.
Well, at that point, everything's a win.
Yeah, and then from there, I mean, it kind of just peters out. I mean, like 31 screens is the peak, so there's not really much else to talk about here.
Yeah.
It does get like a little like mini re-release around holiday season where it jumps back up to like 23 screens in
The
December after
perfect
being
holiday movie, Primer.
yeah, right.
Little indie about two dudes discovering time travel.
But some totals here. Again, against that $7,000 budget, it's going to finish with $424,760 domestic, which, like, again, just in terms of like multiplying your budget by like, and to see how you get to that total, it's like it's easily the highest grossing movie if you look at it that way. Like
No,
return on investment.
it's absurd. I'm honestly a little shocked to hear that we're gonna have there's an international total. I didn't think this came out internationally in the first go around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if it's the. It doesn't say here. I mean, I guess I could see really quickly. Um, yeah, no, it's international, like October of 2004. It looks like.
Dang.
It okay. So it
It's
only has
traveled.
numbers from one country. It only gets
Oh,
released
here
in
we in
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah, it's Spain,
Huge time travel fans over there.
and it gets released June 10th of 2005 in Spain.
Wow, dude, the anticipation must have just been at a fever pitch.
Dude, opening weekend in Spain, $58,082.
Yeah, dude, they were waiting. Dude, they heard from the American colleagues like how good they had it on their hand. They were like, dude, when this comes, bedlam.
Yeah,
This is
so
Back to the Future if we've been so excited for time travel.
yeah, its Spanish total is, and then that's its whole international total is $120,676 for a worldwide total of 545,436.
Right open. So obviously, lowest one on our list here, not even close. But as far as budget to box office, like one of the most stellar successes we've done here.
Yeah, like very easily. I mean, it makes back 78 times its budget. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
which
it's
again, Do
It's
that with Van
crazy.
Helsing's budget, and I think it's more money than exists in the universe. Like,
It is very interesting that this guy did not go on to then get like something bigger or anything. Do you see that all the time now, especially in the studio system? Is so the indie darling comes out with their indie hit, and then instantly the studios are trying to hire him for hire for some big budget movie. Not the case here in 2004. I don't think we've ever heard of this guy since this movie.
I mean, we'll dive into it really quickly because he does have two more directing credits here. His next directing credit isn't until 2013, and I think this is another independent movie that he writes, directs, and stars in called Upstream Color. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like he basically like you would usually expect like a guy to get some heat off of a movie like this, like where
Like a huge win like this.
popular
Like,
at Sundance, he did it
yeah,
on like a shoestring budget, and like I'll be honest, whether you like it or not, like this movie's at least intriguing in a lot of ways, right? Like both visually and like in terms of plot, like you'd have to have thought that he would have piqued somebody's interest at this point.
like you would think, especially with this rousing success coupled with a movie that also did well critically, that this guy would have been given an at bat in the studio system. Like this is basically how Kevin Smith got started, like with Clerks. Like it's almost the same deal.
Yeah, I would say Clerks maybe a little more accessible than this movie. Like
A little, yeah, yeah.
Clerks,
Obviously, a bit,
Clerks
obviously
at
more
least spoke
accessible,
to
but
some sort of wide appeal. Like
but you would think this would at least catch somebody's eye, and they would have given him something maybe a little bit more, like a little bit higher of a budget. Now let's see what else he can do.
yeah, and it's weird because like I'm looking at his IMDb, like he pops back up in a few things as an actor. He's actually in Swiss Army Man
Jesus,
as the coroner. I'm guessing that's like a really small part in that movie. I've never actually seen it.
I've never seen that either, so I cannot
But
tell.
he pops up in like a few other things as an actor, but all of it like between 2004 when he makes Primer and
Yeah,
2013 when he makes Upstream Color, it's like nothing. Like he has like one executive producer credit on something a year before Upstream Color. But other than that, his IMDb is like barren.
it doesn't really do anything at all. Interesting. That's interesting. Something must have been going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wonder like I don't know. I wonder like if there was ever anything in the works, if he even had another thing like in like written in the stock, you know what I mean? Or like
Yeah, this was just
if
like a
they'd never
one and
given
done.
him a script together or what.
Yeah, it was like a one and done kind of guy that just had this like one idea that like he could execute because it was close to home, and then after that, like he was like, I couldn't be like a for hire type of guy.
Yeah, it's just if you can't break in after making a movie for $7,000 that gets buzz at Sundance, it's like how can you break in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly, exactly. Because like not only are you a success in that budget, man, but you critically as well. 72% from the critics, 79% from the audience, with a 6.7 from IMDb. And obviously, this movie never really catching on. Huge in the mainstream does not have a cinema score.
right.
But we do have some user reviews.
Oh boy.
Oh, yes. And let's see what the people have to say. Could it have been as accessible as they were hoping for? Our first one-star reviewer writes, I am a big sci-fi buff, but this movie, sad. Terrible acting, horribly profound storyline that you could probably only follow if you were a physics grad student. The worst thing about this movie is that the actors are constantly talking over each other, which gets so annoying you want to turn it off. I'm led to believe that the actors in this movie are strictly amateurs and have never acted in anything before in their lives. They sure as shit aren't acting in this. Nothing is really explained, nor is there any indication to what the hell is going on 95% of the time. They use a bunch of fancy sounding physics mumbo jumbo to try and make the movie seem interesting, but it's really just a pile of randomly thrown together crap. Absolute junk.
I mean, he definitely cooked at some parts. I don't know if I agree with the overall sentiment. I do think it's
Sorcery and
funny that he was
science.
like, these people have never acted in anything, and that still counts even after this movie, because that wasn't acting.
But also, like, yeah, dude, do you know the movie you were watching? Like, this was all that it was like him and his like family and friends that acted in it.
It's like they
Like,
literally are amateurs.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like, yeah, yeah, like, do what you
And
turned
dare
on,
I
right? Like,
say, those amateurs made 1,000 times the movie you could ever dream of making, dude. Like,
that little indie movie Primer starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah, right, right. And like, honestly, for amateurs, real good job. Like, as like movies people made at home go, like this has got to be pretty up there, right?
Yeah, yeah, I would say for, getting your family and friends to come in and do that, like that ain't an easy thing to do. So kudos. And then we got another one star here, Jim. And they write, first off, I'm not some trailer trash hick with a third grade education. I'm smart,
Oh
but couldn't
boy.
make any sense out of this stupid, badly written plot. I went over their explanation for the time machine, and each time got more confused as to what the hell they were trying to say was happening. I give up. Figuring it out was some avant garde thing that I was just supposed to get. Fine. I usually find those things enjoyable, even giving it a wide measure of suspension of belief. The movie made no sense. Who was going back to get what and to do what to whom and when and where and an ex-boyfriend that did what? Maybe if they had explained what the ex did and then they explained what they were trying to do to stop it. But no, it was all that frat boy argumentation that passed as dialogue throughout the entire movie that kept you from understanding what was going on. Horribly flawed, horribly acted, horribly filmed. Let me tell you, just plain horrible.
I love that review because that guy like is wearing it so visibly on his sleeve. The fact that he feels stupid because he didn't understand it. Like he's like, first of all, I'm smart, okay? I understand things. Like,
I don't live in no double wide.
yeah. And then he starts talking about the time travel in the movie, which as tinfoil hat Jim will tell you, the first thing you need to understand about time travel in movies is that time travel's not real. The harder you try to understand it as something that's real, the more frustrated you're gonna get. So when you're like, the time travel in this movie didn't make any sense and they couldn't explain it. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like there's no such thing as time travel. Like that's gonna be in every movie, and you just need to accept that.
Like we're just making it up as we go along, buddy.
Yeah.
Ah, what a legend right there with his third grade education. We got some tenors as well, Jim. And I wonder if they have any sounder takes for us here.
I
Our
doubt it.
first person.
I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say we're about to get a lot of real Rick and Morty fan energy.
Well, let's find out. Wow, this movie encourages one to actually think. Caution and lack of production values adds tremendously to this movie, intentional or not. I felt like an on the scene observer of the events, somewhat trapped by the other characters' abilities to do well their thing in this movie. I need to watch it again to get everything, but the characters were real, their stories and their lives were compelling. They weren't run of the mill, they were so compelling. If you're looking for an easy wow, then watch The Butterfly Effect. But if you want something more palatable, you're in for a tough 90 minutes with this bad boy. But do watch it a few times. That's when you'll really begin to realize how great it truly is.
Yeah, it's serious Rick and Morty fan energy. Like to to, to say the line like the words like maybe you're looking for something more palatable as if that's like a bad thing, like you want something that you can watch and just like
Uh,
enjoy and not
uh,
have to think too hard
you
about.
telling me you want to watch a movie for enjoyment? You fucking sucker.
Yeah. Not in this Rick and Morty fan's house. We're watching Primer 9 times until you get it, asshole.
They're like, please, I just want to go home. Not until you can actually explain to me what's happening in this time travel.
How many times has Aaron gone back through time? Tell me right now.
I want my mommy. Oh man, that's so good. And then we got one last person here. And they write, I love this movie. The first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? That was amazing. But I don't understand what happened. And now I've seen it like 5 times and I've gotten close to following it through. With the help of the infamous diagram, it has helped me immensely. What? The acting is simple and good, notwithstanding the intentionally technical dialogue. This is no flashy sci fi. This is classic sci fi. Anyone who calls this pretentious or boring is probably into having stories spoon fed to them like a baby. And that's fine. I certainly enjoy when I don't have to think when I'm trying to escape in a movie, but I like to balance that out with something that challenges me, to pay close attention, only to tell me that I didn't pay that great of attention anyway. Can't say this story is simple, but the plot is straightforward. Within the short duration of the movie, your mind will be blown. It feels so real, like something that could actually happen to you. No, it doesn't.
What's up? What's up, babies? What are you busy not watching Rick and Morty? Just like a bunch of babies?
Just
Like,
sitting there watching your Pixar movies, enjoying life.
I just, I also love like the like humiliation kink in the middle there where he's like, I want to try really hard to pay attention to movies, but then I want them to tell me I wasn't paying enough attention anyway, and I still didn't get it. That's the kind of
It's like
movie I'm looking for.
it's like fucking Paul Bettany in the Da Vinci Code just whipping himself like for self
Yeah,
gratification.
right.
Didn't get it.
How could you miss it? How many times did Aaron go back in time?
Yeah. Also, like, dude, at what point could any, unless you're like an engineer or something, like, how could this feel so real? It could actually happen to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, even if you were an engineer, like, the science in this movie is like sort of makes sense at a very surface level until you get up to the part where they start time traveling, and then it's them just like waving a hand over a thing. Like, because again, there's nothing scientific about time travel. It's made up. It's not real. It's like something fanciful we dream about at night. You know what I mean? Like,
Not you, Jim, but I often find myself at storage containers, finding myself trapped in a box going back through time. Anyone, all right?
right. And like that's one of my honestly, it's one of the things I like most about this movie is like the dialogue sounds like a bunch of engineers talking, but it's also like and like they're saying things that make sense. Again, until they get to the part where they're like, and then it's time travel. and, like, and at that point, we are now in the premise of a movie, and like it's nothing realistic about it, you know? Like
Like it's always so funny reading these reviews. If there's one thing in life we can always count on, it is the 1 in 10 store people to be equally as fucking nuts.
yep, exactly.
And I love to see it. Now I guess you're ready for us to dive into our thoughts on this movie here, Jim. And now you kind of we weren't quite on air yet, but you did say something right before we went on the air about thoughts on this movie. And I would love before you explain the tinfoilness to explain to me how you know what my feelings on this movie before we've ever talked.
Yeah, okay. So you definitely hated this movie. I know for a fact that you hated this movie, and I'll tell you exactly why you hated this movie.
Okay,
Um,
let's hear it.
this movie is like an exercise in just removing any kind of exposition whatsoever from the movie. Like it's an exercise like to the point where I don't really ever know what anyone's goal is at any particular time. I don't know what we're trying to accomplish or what our obstacles are. Like all of it is just like not a real movie. It's like a fucking mess. Like on every level you could possibly imagine. Like if you turn this movie 45 minutes in and you were like, "What's going on?" I'd be like, "They kind of time travel, I guess. I don't really know exactly what's going on though. Now that you mention it, like it's
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. And again, I don't need a lot. I don't think it's so much that bothersome that there's no exposition as much as there's no clear motivations for anything. It's very much
yeah.
like you said that it's just like shit just happens. And
Well, let
everything
me.
happens in such a level-headed two scientists talking to each other. Like I don't think I ever really see someone go crazy or anything in this movie. Like it's just so monotonous, it feels like throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like to me, I wasn't bored by it, because I find time travel interesting. So like I was more interested in the mechanics of like the time travel structure, which if this was just like this dude Shane giving me like a 90-minute lecture at a college about this, I'd be like, this is the coolest shit ever. But it's
Yeah.
not a movie.
Well, and that's kind of the only thing that I think makes this work, and the thing that for me kind of does make it a movie. Because like I agree, and I mean, it's hard. I'm saying I agree, but I literally just laid out all the reasons why I think you would hate it, like that are in this. So like, it's not even just that I agree. All the things that I was saying are things I saw in the movie too, where it's like okay, but like, what's this movie about actually? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's the reason I'm watching this to the end? Because I think both of us, in a lot of ways, are more traditional, like we believe in more like arc kind of stories, you know what I mean? Like that are like typical for what you see in things. And like what I find interesting about this movie is it's rudderless, but only because like the characters themselves are kind of rudderless. Like they're just like two bros who accidentally invent time travel and they're like pretty smart. And like the first thing they do is like, well, yeah, let's like figure out a way to make some money off this, and we'll be careful, and we'll do this, that. And I think part of the reason like the middle of the movie works well for me is because like they don't really know what they're doing either. Like they're kind of just like diving into this head first, like, yeah, we'll just play the stock market. That's what you would do if you invented time travel, right? We'll get fucking rich and nothing will ever go wrong. And what's the worst that could happen? And like, I think it's at least interesting because this kind of slow drip you get throughout the middle of the movie is them learning about the consequences that they kind of always knew were lurking, but like didn't really like fully like respect. And eventually, like the more and more they do it, kind of slowly unravel, like as they're going. It's like I don't know, like that's at least interesting to me for a movie that again is only like 87 minutes. I think it's like enough to keep me invested through the middle.
And that's fair. I totally, I mean, obviously I see that I am, more in the minority on in not enjoying this movie comparative to most other people. I can see the bones in there for what would make like a really like interesting and thought-provoking movie. But like the whole time I'm watching this, when they're doing like the whole like, oh, we're going back and forth through this time. You don't know how many people are back behind there, how many duplicates there are. And there's whole like kind of coming in at the end there that like, oh, this one person had to jump over him and already had his failsafe back there. Like the whole time I'm
Yeah,
watching that, I was just like, I'd rather just watch The Prestige. Like they did this way better. Like,
yeah, it
like,
it's literally it's and the reason I use the word exposition is because like I remember I had a conversation with a common acquaintance of ours one time where we were talking about like hacking in movies. And
hmm,
like we both thought it was like so funny that like when somebody like hacks into something, you just see like a big thing on the screen that's like access granted and it like flashes in green and it's like that's not how that would work like ever, right?
yeah,
Like what do you log into that like starts flashing green
yeah.
and access granted?
But
And
the
it's like
audience needs to know. So like that's the like,
right. It's
yeah,
not real and
yeah.
it's dumb, but it's the absolute quickest way for you to visually show people watching it. Like they got it. They made it. They did the hack, you know?
We're in. Green light means successful.
Right. And it's like infinitely better than somebody just going, "We're in," right? Like it's
Yeah.
like way better than that. And so like this movie like suffers from a severe lack of visually ever understanding what's going on as the audience. Like I think I saw somewhere online somebody wrote this movie would make a lot more sense if they just wrote a number on their shirt so that you could keep track of like who time traveled where and when. And it was like, yeah, kinda actually, because like I do agree that like it's trying so hard to not hold your hand that at times it's literally incomprehensible
Yeah.
as to
That
what's going on.
it goes too far to the other side of the spectrum. Because like I get like, yeah, you want to show this in like as realistic a light as possible, and you don't want to like spoon feed it and hold your hand to someone. And I don't need my hand held through a movie. I don't need every answer to everything. I don't need you to spoon feed me information. But you gotta at least make this like a fun visual medium for what I'm watching. And I use The Prestige as like the main example because like it's follows a lot within the same structure of like body doubles and kind of like not so much time travel, but like the manifestation of like moving.
Similar.
Yeah,
Like
like
some weird
similar.
like supernatural like magician-y kind of things
Yeah,
happening. Yeah.
yeah. But like he uses so much good visual flair and cues to lead you through the story without spoon feeding, because The Prestige isn't an easy movie to follow either. Like that's not spoon fed to you either. But Christopher Nolan is so adept at using this visual flair to lead you through a story that like this movie just doesn't do that. Like this movie just feels like an engineer was just like, just want to write how time travel would happen to like two dudes, and like I don't give a fuck about actually making a movie. I just want to make that in a visual form.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like
I think
and it's like
you're
it's
probably not
interesting.
too far off from what actually happened,
Yeah.
honestly.
And I'm like
And
I'm
what I
interested. Like the movie does like it's not boring again, like because like I could see how this could be boring to someone who's not into time travel or anything like that, that they would be like, what the fuck is happening in this?
yeah.
But like it doesn't really make for a thrilling movie.
No, and I mean, I think you hit on something even more important, and I think The Prestige is like a really good one to bring up. Because, like, the biggest difference between this movie and The Prestige, of which there is a lot, like, let's be clear, like, one of them is far superior, in my opinion, as a movie, right? The difference though isn't just like that it's visually better, because obviously, like, Christopher Nolan's probably a better director than the guy who made this movie, and he had a lot, like, a shitload more money, and like, right, like it's not just visually better, but like, I don't know, story wise, what like emotionally drives the movie, The Prestige, if you had to just pick one thing.
Obsession.
Right, like obsession, yeah, but like specifically what obsession and like what two characters is it like playing out through? You know what I mean? Like,
You're playing between it's the battle between Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, because I can't remember what their actual names are in this
right,
movie.
right. It's
And for
Rush, but with magicians instead of
yeah,
racing cars, right? Like
yeah.
that's what it is. It's two guys pushing each other to the limits of what they're willing to do to be the best at something,
Well,
right?
it's mostly it's one just wants to be the best I was about to say magician, while the other one just wants to be the better magician than the other guy.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, right. But you're right. Like obsession and competition are like the two words are like that are a pretty good way to describe it. Like they're competing at something and it's like what are the depths that humans would go to in the spirit of competition and how ugly can that get, right?
Yeah.
That is where this movie stops being similar to The Prestige because it doesn't have anything like that in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I don't know that it has any really defining character motivation within the movie other than like, hey, we stumbled upon time travel. How can we do this safely? We can't do this safely.
yeah, and again,
That's the
I
movie.
what I would say is I think that that's kind of intentional
No, I
because
definitely do think it's intentional, because I even think I
like
was
they're not
reading
supposed to be
somewhere.
guys who are with it. Like they're supposed to be guys who just stumbled onto this thing and are like floundering their way through it like morons. You know what I mean?
And
Like
I don't
that's
have any issue, with that. But like, I guess there should be, I feel like, a bit more of a clear grasp of it falling out of their hands.
yeah. I mean, I my issue with it is that like I prefer movies like The Prestige that have like a real like solid emotional drive that I can sink my teeth into, and this movie doesn't have it. You know what I mean?
Doesn't
Like
have it. I don't think I learned
I don't know
anything
that it
about them
belongs in
other.
this movie, but like
Yeah.
like it doesn't have it, and that to me like is a detriment for sure.
I don't know that I learned anything about these people other than the fact that they're like engineers who are working on this thing in their spare time.
Right, right.
So like, yeah. So it doesn't really make for a very interesting movie. Definitely helps that it's only an hour and 17 minutes, so you're not
That's
really
its
sitting
saving
through that.
grace, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
saving grace is that it's short.
by the time I'm so lost in the weeds that I'm just like, what am I even watching anymore? It's just over. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's like so it has that going for it. And again, like we talked about it, earlier as we've been a through line through this, but like it is adequately made. Like for a dude with 7 grand, like this is a hell of an effort. Like
Yeah.
even though I didn't enjoy the movie, like if I was an executive, I would still like look at that, look at the budget and and I would be like, I want this guy to come make a movie for me. Like I would want this dude to do more stuff.
Yeah.
See what
Like what
else he
I
could
would
do.
say, it looks really cheap. Like it doesn't
It does.
like the actual like look of it isn't great, but I do think it's really well shot. Like
Yeah,
some of the shots in it are like pretty great.
yeah, I think it's
Like,
well shot, but also like I think that's also kind of intentional too, because like like we said, like he's it absolutely reads as a movie of this guy trying to make as like close to just like a like this movie almost feels like it's just like a documentary that these guys are just filming while they're working on this in like their garage.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like all that works within the time frame. And yeah, and absolutely all the kudos goes to Shane for like that's a lot of hands in the cart to be handled, like directing, editing, writing, starring in it, doing the music for it. Like this dude literally has his hands in every facet of making this thing. So it is like, even though again, like I did not like this movie, it is still is supremely impressive what he was able to do.
Absolutely. And I'll never like maybe the way to say this is I'll always respect the absolutely unhinged artistic decision to be like, listen, I don't care if anybody understands my movie. Like,
Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah, no.
gonna edit it the way that makes sense to me, and I don't give a shit if you understand it or like or are invested in it. Like, I think this movie's awesome, and I'm just gonna make it the way I want to make it. And like, I do think that that works in a lot of ways. I don't think it was ever gonna be like a movie that catches on like to the mainstream for like all the reasons our reviews were pointing out. Although I would say them less judgy than like some of those reviews said them.
Well, I mean,
It's just,
we're
I don't think
too
most people are interested in watching a movie like Primer, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
no,
Um,
this definitely felt like a very personal thing that he made, that it was never like he was trying to make something that would catch on to huge audiences, and more just like a personal thing where it was like, this is the movie I want to make. If people like it, that's cool.
yeah, like, but I refuse to hold
Yeah.
your hand through it. Like, I
Yeah.
refuse to put access granted and flashing green on the screen at any point. Like,
Yeah. So like I like, even though I didn't like the movie, I respect the effort. I respect, the movie that he set out and made to his vision. Like, kudos to you, my friend. But now I'm very much looking forward, Jim, to you donning that tin cap of yours and now explaining to the people our time travel mechanics here. Honestly, I think this one fits and makes a lot more sense than the Planet of the Apes one.
no, I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't think any of them really make sense. I
Well, I mean,
like,
as much as it can make sense within the construct of what you're telling me in the movie.
yeah, I think that for all of these, once you give up on the idea of time and space as a concept in reality, you can make anything happen. And I think that, like, I still think the Planet of the Apes one is slightly more interesting to me because I do like the whole idea that like time is like when you go through, it's like way in the past than another one. But this movie, I agree that it's kind of more rooted in like science than Planet of the Apes, which is basically like wouldn't it be crazy if you went through a wormhole and then it was in the way in the past on the other side, right? Um, but like, yeah, so this movie, have you ever heard of the like Schrodinger's cat?
Yes.
It's like the idea that when a cat is in a box, it's both in the position of alive and dead at the same time until you're able to observe it, right? The time travel in this movie kind of works along a similar principle where the idea is they've created this box. And like, did you catch what the box is for in the beginning of the movie? Like what they're trying to invent? So they're trying to invent something that makes things weigh less.
Okay.
So like if you're, for example, if you're shipping something, if you could
Yeah.
make it weigh 15% less, like how much money will that save you? How much on fuel and whatever, right? So, but what they find is that they succeed in making the thing that makes things weigh less. But the way they succeed is that like the box itself, like when it's sealed, exists outside of like physics as we know it. So time doesn't travel like in a line anymore in the box. In the box, what happens when you put a little weeble in the box is it constantly is traveling between point A and point B, which in the movie they say is like point A is like 12 midnight and point B is 12:01 a.m. While it's in the box and it's sealed, it's constantly bouncing back and forth between those 2 points in time. And that's why when you open it, like, and it's odd, it's exited at point B because it's made an extra trip. It has to be an odd number, right? The first trip will be to B, the second trip will be to A, the third trip will be to B, blah, 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 right? And A is when they've gone back in time, is when it's an even trip. So, like, they've understand now that while this thing is bouncing in the box, if you can just open the box at the right time, it will get out at the beginning of when you first turned it on instead of when you just opened it at the end.
Yeah.
And like their philosophy is like, well, if we go in the box or we put something intelligent in the box that knows when to open it, boom, you've just gone back in time. You've gone back in time to when you first turned the machine on.
I got you. I'm following.
And I mean, that's really the gist of it.
I'm
Again,
following
like,
what you're putting down.
there's some scientificness behind that where you're like, oh yeah, superposition and things could be an A and B at the same time. And who knows what's going on inside the box, you know? Like, there's a lot of that. And then they're like, but then you can open it right when you're at point A and boom, you just went back in time 6 hours. And it's like, wait, hold on. Like,
Yes, that makes total.
I think
I
I
follow
think we
the
might have
professor.
missed some of the science here. And then I mean, it gets into like a lot of the like same kind of like time travel-y tropes that like a lot of these movies get into. Like where who knows if you can change things or not. You know what I mean? Like, can you change things? Time will tell. Will it tell? I don't know. We could always go back. Like, and I don't know. So like, I mean, that's the gist of it. I would say this is definitely more hard sci-fi than any other movie we've done. This is the one that's like trying its damnedest to be rooted in like actual like engineering and science.
Well, because I feel like this is the probably, or at least of the ones we've done so far, the first one that feels like it's using it to really like almost as like a discovery. Whereas all the other movies we've done, it's kind of just a jumping off point to let the story happen. Like the time travel is secondary to the actual plot of the movie. You know, like in Planet of the Apes, it's just to get Mark Wahlberg back in time. In
Right.
Terminator 3, it's just to bring Arnold Schwarzenegger and the liquid girl back so that the action could happen. Whereas for this, it's like the construct of like, how does this work? What can we do with it is like the functionality of the movie.
Yeah, and that's the just I mean, right, exactly. Yeah. And like the whole like idea of them not really knowing like what's possible or like all the dumb questions you might ask in the audience be like, well, what if they do this? The movie's like, yeah, I don't know, what if they do that? Like they're wondering the same thing. Nobody knows, man. um I will say like I think it kind of like fails at a couple of points where like the science of it makes sense until they start talking about the guy who like the random dude who went back in time, and they're like, how did he go back in time?
It's like girlfriend's like dad, right? Like
Yeah, his girlfriend's dad, who they've been trying to get to invest in the company.
which is another thing because
Like,
it's just like I don't think we ever actually see this dude the entire movie. He's just talked about, and then like you see
no,
like a car.
he's at a barbecue in the very beginning, and then he kind of just like disappears, and like because he's like not investing at this time. But then like yeah, so like that's kind of where it starts to lose me, where like I don't know that there's any answers to like the causality of all of it. You know what I mean? I don't think the movie is kind of like existing in like a lost area where it's like, all right, so science is a thing, but also when we get to these like all these questions, we're just asking questions. We're not going to supply any answers whatsoever about any of it. You know what I mean?
Or
Like,
actually do anything like fun with them in the movie to explore those questions. It's just like we've spoken that it happened, and then we're on to the next thing. You doesn't matter what that professor's doing anymore.
yeah, and like I mean like they kind of hint at the idea that the more you change things, the more like physically demanding it is on you. They like sort of get to that, but like not really, you know what I mean? And then like
I mean, you get like the one scene where like his ears are bleeding.
right, but that's because that guy's time traveled. My theory is that that guy's time traveled an indeterminate amount of times.
Well, all right. Well, so there's a question: is how many times do you think each of them have time traveled that we have confirmed in this movie?
That we have confirmed, I think that the gist of it is like the one dude who like actually invented it is always one behind the other guy. Cause like he figures out about the failsafe at some point and goes back to the original failsafe. And like this is the only time in the movie where there's even like even remotely any exposition where he like tells you about the conversation they would have had and like explains like that he found the failsafe first and brought back more things into the past.
It's like a
Um
very silly whodunit reveal, like at the end, right? Like it's like,
yes,
oh
it
wait.
really is, yeah. But I do think it's interesting though because like I don't know, I think the one dude who by the end of the movie there's three of him like existing in the same day, like I think that guy has traveled an untold amount of times. Like, cause he basically finds the failsafe that the other guy set up and goes back to it and like hijacks it and then sets up his own two failsafes. Like that's the thing that happens. He finds the original failsafe box that the one guy set up so that he could go back in case everything goes wrong. He can go back and undo it all.
Hey, man, wouldn't it have been amazing if they showed us and not told us about that? You know, like movies usually do.
Yeah, it would have been nice, yeah. But so the other guy like hijacks his failsafe, sets up two other failsafes that are slightly later than that failsafe.
Like,
And like they kind of hinted at this at the end of the movie that he's talking about like setting up this whole thing with like that lady's ex-boyfriend at the party. And I don't understand why he's doing that. I
out
don't
with the
understand
shotgun.
what juice is worth the squeeze at this fucking party that he's like so obsessed with getting this guy out of there.
I don't
But
know.
um but yeah, like they make it seem like that he went through that like dozens of times to set up like the perfect scenario where he could like undo whatever was supposed to happen at that party.
Except we never really like ever get to see the full of that party or anything. There's all this talk of that shotgun. Never saw it.
No, you do. You see the guy walk in with it, and you
Yeah,
also
but
see them like
you
loading
barely
it
even.
question mark and putting it in the guy's car.
You just
Like
kind
they
of, yeah.
hint at the fact that the shotgun was like put there by them. Like
He just kind of rolls in with his hand behind his back. Like, what are you doing? This movie feels like when you're hanging out with like a group of friends and they're telling you an exciting story that happened, but you weren't there for it.
right,
So like, like it sounds exciting, but not as thrilling as it does for everyone who was like actually there to witness the things that happen. And that's what it feels like watching this movie is the whole entire movie. They're explaining to me all this cool stuff about time travel, but I never see fucking any of it in this movie.
right. The most that happens is somebody like shoots baskets in a hotel garbage can. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I just
But
like,
yeah, and like that in terms of the science of it, by the way, that's the most interesting part of this movie for me is that if you follow all the rules they set in the beginning, you're never actually you have small overlap of like you and the other person, but you're being smart about what you did so that you're not like overlapping. But then like you get in the box and the future you just keeps on trucking now. Like and like there's never like too much overlap. Like it works in a sense. It like it's almost like this self-completing loop until they stop following it. And it's like, well now there's three of them and like what is even going on? And like this guy went to the original failsafe and now he's doing this. And like I don't know. I like it all like falls apart. Like I like everything with time travel does the more you think about it. Like the more you think about it, the less sense it makes.
makes. Yeah. That's why I guess it probably, most movies have the right idea by just using time travel as like a starting point to kick off your story instead of focusing the whole thing on time travel.
Yeah,
Because it
it's the Avengers Endgame move, like where they're just like, ah, fuck it, it's time travel. Like, what do you want
yeah,
from us?
yeah.
Like,
They're like, listen, you've heard of it. We know the deal. Let's just get on with it. All right.
yeah. The only reason though, I do think it works at a couple of points in this movie. I like when I really like when they're like gonna go punch that one dude in the face. Like
Yeah, and they're just like, we can't do it. We can't do it. And then they're just like talking about it for like the next like three scenes. Like, well, how would we do it?
yeah, right. Like, but no, so say we go punch him. Like, and then I like that when they go to do it, they're like, wait, who's that guy following us? And then like somehow like the guy they were looking to get invest like found out about the time machines and came back in time, and they are never able to figure out why or what he was trying to warn them about. Like,
How he like figured out that they were doing this.
right, like that one thing
Yeah.
kind of like bows the whole second half of the movie for me, where it's like, okay, so this movie's just about like these guys like barreling down like careening down a fucking mountain and like not understanding what's happening whatsoever.
Like
Because
how,
like
yeah,
immediately they're like they went from having the idea to go punching the guy in the face and trying to undo it, like to like to like, wait, now somebody completely different traveled back in time to warn us about something, presumably, but we have no idea what.
like they saw Biff Tannen in Back to the Future 2 happen, and they were like, "What if we did that, but we never show a single scene of it happening?"
Right, right.
It's like, great,
Yeah.
man, let's do
But
it.
I do like I found that part of it interesting though, where like if you really like take this at face value, you're kind of on like one trip through this thing that's been looped over like I think like dozens of times at least by one of those dudes. And like you're kind of on like all of the wackiness and weirdness that would happen your one time through, that the guy who's been through it dozens of times is like, oh yeah, now this is the part where the bearded dude comes. You know what I mean? Like 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 he's like so hip to everything. It's kind of like it's kind of like when Tom Cruise in like Edge of Tomorrow or all those repeat day movies hit like the point they all hit, where they're just like, oh yeah, now you do this and then I do this
Right.
and then yeah, you know, like they all hit that. It's like, except we're not like watching it through the point of the view of the guy who's lived it. It's like you're just like the sergeant who's like, how did you know that? Like,
Kentucky, that's right.
yeah, exactly.
Fucking Bill Paxton. Oh man, yeah, it's something.
The part I'll never understand though is why he ever told the other dude about it. Like, like it's so crazy that he told the other dude that he had invented time travel.
Yeah, yeah, it really unraveled from there.
Yeah, and like that's another thing I like about the second half of this movie is like beyond the fact that it makes no sense, I do like it when I look at it through the lens of like the guy who invented it has just been watching this slowly spiral out of control like since he told his friend about it. And like to the point where backup plan and that's completely washed, like he's never going to be able to undo what he did and he doesn't understand the ramifications of it whatsoever at this point. Like that's interesting to me. I just think they probably could have did it a little bit like better, like gotten that across better.
Yeah, for sure. But like we said, like the bones for it are there. It's just they definitely could have used a bit more. I want to say like movie magic to get that point across. And I just mean like structure in a sense. Because not that you have to follow structure to a T. Like there's plenty of movies that, are able to use the visual medium of film that don't follow the specific 3 act structure, but there's still structure within all of those movies. And I don't
Yeah.
really feel any structure in this movie whatsoever.
No, no. I mean, not really. And again, I think that's kind of by design, and I think that that's like why a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff works. But it's also like you gotta like live and die with it, and I think at parts it definitely dies with it.
Yeah. Well, it also like maybe it lends a little credence to the idea that we are talking about of like why did we not see this guy do anything else after this? And it's because this movie feels like not like a dude who wanted to make movies as a career, but just as a dude who had this one specific thing that was something to him that he wanted to tell, and he told it. And having now seen the movie, I'm like, yeah, like it's a very interesting idea on like the theory of like time travel, but like that's not a movie. Like I could see why they didn't hire this guy to make more movies because he didn't really make a movie here.
Yeah, it's kind of like that part when he's like, "We could publish," and then if instead of saying "we could publish," the other guy was like, "But what if we spent 7 grand making a movie instead?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're like, we'll put this on film to really show the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't know, man.
yeah,
I the only thing I'm sure of right now is that I'm gonna watch this movie again, like soon.
and that's fair. I don't take anything away from people that got enjoyment out of the way that this movie is framed. I more power to you.
it's hard. I don't even know that I would say enjoyment, like for the framing of it and the pacing of it specifically. It's more that I'm just fascinated by it because I really do think like if I had to break this movie down into like one sentence, it would be like it's a movie that literally doesn't care if you understand what's happening or if it's explained enough. It's just at every point it's like I am going to give them the least amount of information humanly possible in this scene. And like that's often advice you hear for people who are making like telling stories, like keep it, short, like get in late, get out early, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that kind of stuff.
They also tell you show, don't tell.
Yeah, right, which is fair. There's a couple points where they're telling instead of showing. Agreed, yeah. But like it's just like there's a lot of points where I'm like, this is like kind of fascinating because sometimes it really works doing that, and other times it's like it feels like a cautionary tale for why you shouldn't always follow that kind of stuff. Like
Well, it's definitely interesting in the swings that it takes, and I still way more have respect for a movie that swings for the fences and misses than doesn't take a swing at all. So, even though I
yeah,
didn't end up liking this movie really that much at all, I can still respect the hustle.
yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of curious what you think. Would you say this was like super complicated?
No, not overtly.
I
I
think the complicatedness is so overblown. I don't think it's
yeah
that complicated at
yeah
all,
yeah.
actually.
I mean, I don't think it's confusing in the sense that like it's hard to understand. It's just confusing in the sense that it's like you're making me do extra work that I shouldn't have to do to just put the little bits and pieces in the threads. It's just stuff that you should be doing in a visual medium to like put that into your story. But like I follow the time travel. Like while I was watching this movie, I understand how it worked and what they were doing
Yeah.
and what was going on. It
And
was
there's
just
some
you
good
didn't do
things.
any of the fun visual flair that helps like make that breathe some depth into it.
Yeah, there's some good things they do like visually that I think help too. Like I shouldn't say they don't do anything because I think I kind of like said something similar to that earlier. Like the fact that every time you see them like walking out of that hallway at the storage unit, like it's like, oh, okay, they went back in time again. Like I get it. This is like another day. Like they just traveled again. Sure.
Oh, they do bits and pieces here, but it's just like it is very much like you said. It's like we're not hand holding you through this at all.
Yeah,
And
right.
yeah, and it's just like, and that's fair. I mean,
And
but
like I think
I
there's something to be said where if you do that, even if your movie's not overly complicated, a lot of people will think it is, and then
yeah,
some people will like you just for that. Like, some people will be like, "Man, I was fucking confused the whole time, and that was great." Like,
like our 10 stars.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And even though I wouldn't like it, I would never go as far as my 1 star chuds that would rally at people for enjoying such slop.
No, I mean, like, again, I don't know that I would say this is good. I kind of agree with you for most of it. I'm just kind of fascinated by it, but I appreciate you not like holding my coals to the fire for it because
Oh,
it
I
is
would,
always crazy the way the
you
one
know,
star reviews.
you and me are very level-headed gentlemen. Even if I don't like a movie, I would never begrudge somebody liking that bad movie because I like plenty
Yeah,
of bad movies. It's just that this movie is not the type of movie that gets my jollies going.
yeah, and like again, I don't even know that I would say I like it, but as a way to spend 87 minutes or 77 minutes, like it's not even 87 minutes, it's 77 minutes. As a way to spend 77 minutes, by the end of it, I'm kind of like, huh, okay. Like, I see what that guy was going for, kind of, I guess. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean it's well made. It keeps you thinking a little bit afterwards. Some of that is because of the time travel, and some of that is simply because they just do nothing to help you through it. But I can see why people get a big kick out of this movie, and I can see why this movie would be like people's cup of tea. It's just not
Yeah.
mine.
Is it cube to hypercube levels of good? No. I mean, let's be real here.
All right, guy. It's, it's enough out of you.
Have
And
you tell me you've seen Cube 2 Hypercube?
nope, not falling for
Have
those
you ever
again.
have you ever seen the original Cube?
No,
Oh man,
nope. And I'm gonna and I'm gonna keep it that way.
No, you gotta see Cube, man. And Cube 2 Hypercube, which by the way, it writes it like cube squared. Like the
Of course,
2 is like an exponent.
love it. Cube to the second power.
Yeah.
God,
If
never,
I
never,
could
never change Hollywood.
Cube Cube is another awesome like independent kind of movie. That's all I'll say.
I don't doubt it. Do you have anything else to touch upon that we have not done so?
Nah, not really. I mean, I think this about covers it.
Yeah,
Just go
okay.
watch Primer. It's like this
Yeah.
is the kind of movie like even if you end up not liking it, this feels like the kind of movie that's important to go back and watch from like the early 2000s to me because especially in a day and age when Hollywood is more unoriginal than ever, you know, like or as unoriginal as ever, let's say. It's nice to go back and watch something that people just like made on their own.
Yeah, no, it was cool to check out, even if I, wasn't the biggest fan of this movie. It was still an interesting and fun one to check out. With that, what do you think? Do you even think the Raj man got in on this?
I don't know. That's a good question. The old maybe. I mean, it was like a Sundance movie. Maybe he saw it, but it
Ooh,
feels like it didn't release wide enough to.
Raj did get in on this, Jim. What drop do
Oh,
you think Raj would want?
I, okay. Hold on. Just because Raj is the guy who gives like the Passion of the Christ like 10 stars and like all the like bad movies that we think are bad. Like I think that this is kind of going to be like shoe on the other foot.
This is the most unpleasant movie to look at that I can remember. Gene, I sat there appalled. They put almost nothing on the screen.
Like I think he'll have some nice things to say here or there, maybe. But I think the most of it's going to be like, this is kind of confusing and not really a story.
Well, once again, you couldn't be more wrong, Jim.
Oh my God, did you
Raj,
love it?
the Raj Primer Puzzles fascinates with Paradox movie. 3.5 out of 4.
Whoa, fascinates with paradox movie isn't even a sentence, actually.
Yeah, I think that's just the headline of the title, but that also feels like, I don't know, why would you add movie? Why would you just say fascinates with Paradox? Even that
Hmm.
also doesn't feel right, but
I feel good about this. I feel like I'm happy that I was wrong this week with Raj.
he praised his ability to maintain high production values on a minuscule budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that's absolutely something I can echo. Regardless of how I felt about this movie, that is something I can absolutely agree with. So all right, Jim, let's hear it. Final, what's your rating for Primer? Where you landing?
Man, I don't even know. This feels like the worst movie that we've had to rate yet, because like I can't possibly give it a 3.5 out of 4 like Raj did, right?
That's great. I mean, it's your thoughts, my friend. If that how it feel for you, by all means, I'm not going to stop you.
No, I know. I'm not saying that like there's like some kind of like there's no like invisible force that's saying I can't. I'm saying I don't know if my scruples will allow me to give it.
I know,
Like
I know our review list right here is very hollowed, but you can you do it if you have to.
yeah. But like I don't know, it's just like I watched this like right before we recorded this really. Like just like maybe like an hour before. And it's like maybe not since Castaway have I spent this much time thinking about something since I've
Oh boy,
watched it.
here he goes. Here he goes.
So with that said, I have to give it a higher score than Castaway. No, I don't know. I would give this like I'm gonna lean on the good side because I think like mostly I was pretty good. Although I
I
would say
think
I'm probably grading it with like really rose-colored glasses.
I
So I'm
think
gonna
you're
give
gonna
it
go
a
middle of the road. I think you're gonna go 3.
I'm gonna go 3. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was thinking like between 2.5 and 3, and I'll go 3 just because I think overall I had a pretty good experience with it,
All
even
right.
if I think there's a lot of shortcomings.
It's fair. I'm gonna go just below you. I'm gonna give this one a 2er. Didn't really care for the way they told the story, but the story was interesting and the way it was shot and everything was very well made. So even though I would not want to see a movie made in this way, I like my structure and I like my visual medium. I can still see the effort and work that went into this. So a 2er
Yeah.
is going to come out from me. So with a 3 from you and a 2 from me, going to give us an overall score of a 5, Jim. And it's time to do some battles with some fives. Although I feel like we're going to be very contentious in our back and forth here, possibly
I
for
bet.
our third, for where we think this is going to land. First battle: do you take Primer or The Bourne Supremacy?
Primer.
Yeah, I'm taking Bourne
I
Supremacy.
thought the Born Supremacy stunk on ice, dude.
I know you did, but that was at least a movie.
Did not enjoy.
uh,
Listen, if the Born Supremacy was like 45 minutes shorter and wasn't a movie, I think it would have been for the best for everybody. That's my prognosis there.
you son of a bitch. Do we take Primer or Scary Movie?
Scary movie, I
Yeah, scary
guess.
movie. Scary movie. Do we take Primer or 50 First Dates? I mean, these are all to you. I'm taking any of these movies over Primer. Primer or 50 First
50
Dates?
First Dates? I'll take Primer. Yeah, no, I don't ever want to watch 50 First Dates again, honestly.
Crazy. Primer or X2?
Dang, X2.
Primer or Ice Age?
Ice Age.
I can't believe we have Ice Age so high in the fives. It's amazing. And then King of the Fives, Primer or Pokemon the first movie?
Primer.
God.
The real travesty is that we have Pokemon ahead of Ice Age. What were we
That
thinking?
is a real travesty. I don't know how these are shaken out here, but it is absurd. Oh my God, hilarious. Yeah, so interesting movie. Glad we watched it. Uh Please don't do this to me again. I'm just kidding.
I will do it to you again in the
I know
future.
you absolutely will do it to me again. Honestly, it probably won't be too long from now before you do it to me again.
Yeah, I was honestly just pulling up the box office week so I could
Yeah,
see
I
like
know.
what the obscure deep cut movie from the
Well,
next
what
weekend
is
will be.
I know we did. I know we picked the three movies that we were doing for the weekend, but I already forgot what the other two were. It was Taxi, and what was the other one?
Let's see. Oh, Friday Night Lights had to be the other
Friday
one.
Night Lights. Okay, all right, yes, those were the three we were doing. Okay, so that what did we decide? Next week is Taxi.
Gotta be, yeah.
Oh God, fucking damn it!
And I'm already looking for the deep cut
You're already scoping
for the
the week
following
after
week.
that.
I'll leave you in suspense for now.
He needs to be stopped, people. God, not looking forward to do Taxi. All right, we do Taxi next week. That's I can do that. I can make it through that. I think I only saw this the one time we saw it in theaters. Have you watched this ever since we saw it in theaters the one
No,
time?
absolutely not. Like
You know, the
no.
Jimmy Fallon, Giselle, whatever her last name is, vehicle.
How are you gonna
Tom,
bring up Taxi and not talk
Tom
about
Brady's
Jimmy Fallon?
ex-wife. Because this was the breakout role for Tom Brady's ex-wife.
I mean, I guess so. Was
Famed,
it?
famed model. I can't even remember her last name.
It's Giselle
Oh,
Bundchen, right?
thank you. There you go. Thank you. Fucking goddamn it. Yeah, that'll be fun. What was the last thing you jammed on?
Uh, let's see. I've been watching the Jets every week. I'm on a mission to
Jeez.
watch them lose every game this season. So far, so good.
Godspeed, my friend. That sounds like a rough go of it.
And then I'm trying to think. I think I watched like another horror movie recently, but I'm drawing a blank. What was it? It was not unlike the Screamboat Willie one that I watched
Oh my god.
recently.
Was it
Like it was
the
another one of those
did you watch
like
the was it one of the shitty Winnie the Pooh ones they made?
no, it wasn't Winnie the Pooh, but it was one that I haven't seen yet, and it was kind of like a novelty one. I just can't think of what it was.
So, yeah, I think there's a reason why you can't think of it.
Yeah, it's because I've been watching so many horror movies this October.
Oh yeah, all right.
I'm on my favorite app. Shut up, boom
Oh,
boom.
oh god. He's a shutter man.
Oh, you know what I watched actually? I got my girlfriend to watch The Running Man.
Oh, nice. The Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah, the
classic.
Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Yeah.
He lies. Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero.
With like the guy who hosted the Family Feud back in the day.
Fucking Killian.
Richard Dawson, I
Yeah,
think his name is.
yeah, Richard Dawson. Killian, I'll be back. How did she like it? Was she a fan?
Yeah, she liked it a lot,
Great.
honestly.
It's a great movie. It's honestly way better than it has any right being. Like it is
Yeah.
incredible how well Arnold Schwarzenegger was at just taking movies and tailoring them to what works so great about why he's great to watch on film.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite adaptations of all time because like nowadays too many people judge an adaptation solely on how faithful it is. Like to the point where in certain like places when you hear somebody say it was a good adaptation or a bad adaptation, it just means like how like the original source material was it. And Running Man I think is like the perfect example for me where it's like no, a good adaptation means like it doesn't matter how much you changed it. You just made a cool movie. And like this is like the perfect example where it's like not it's supposed I've never read the book. It's supposedly nothing like the book.
Nothing like the book. Yeah, it is nothing like.
And at the
But
same
it
time, it's
it
just an 80s Arnold action movie that rules. You know what I mean?
I think it does what like is the most important thing of an adaptation is that it keeps the spirit of the book and the idea. But like
Sure.
and changes its whole execution to tell that story, but it still has the same general spirit of the book. So which is why it feels like a perfectly fine adaptation to me.
Yeah, sure.
Also
I
like
like it because
the book,
regardless of what the book was about or the spirit of it, they just made a fun movie. Like that's like
well,
enjoyable and Arnold does his one-liners and
well, they were smart in that because they saw this book. It has a humdinger of an idea in like the concept of the game show, The Running Man. And they knew that they can take all the other stuff and move around the pieces to tailor it to Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was a way smarter move to do than to just make it like the book. Because, like, spoiler alert, anyone who's read a Stephen King book knows that book is very fucking dark and gets weird at times because that's fucking Stephen
yeah,
King. Like, and those are
right,
not always great like books to put on film.
right. Yeah, and like I don't know, they've definitely swung and missed on some Stephen King adaptations in the past.
I say this as
Uh,
someone who like Stephen King is my favorite author. So like
yeah.
I
I
think
don't know. I'm just like sitting here thinking about like The Running Man starring Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Tron Legacy starring Jared Leto, and I'm just like, just put movie stars in your movies. It's not that difficult. Like Jared Leto, not a movie star actually, not very likable or relatable, and nobody really likes him. Like, why do we keep putting him in movies?
you can't even fucking look at how much fucking charisma Arnold Schwarzenegger has just standing over there.
Dude, and there was another one too, because we were talking about Jared Leto like last week, I think. There was another thing I saw that he got cast in that was like
Oh,
it was like infuriating.
yeah, there was like another, I don't know if it was a video game adaptation or another like book adaptation that they had like cast him in and oh, another Pacific Rim.
No, I mean I've heard
That
that.
is.
That's not what
They were
I
doing
was
it,
thinking
yeah,
of
another
though.
Pacific Rim, and they were like, we casted Jared Leto, and everyone was just like, "What are you? Have you not learned? How many times we have to teach you this
Oh,
lesson, old man?"
yeah, you know what it was? This
What?
is where I'm really gonna go off the edge right now, dude, because I found it.
Okay.
This is like from a story from last year, so who knows this has changed. Jared Leto cast as Skeletor in He-Man reboot. Why? Why is Jared Leto cast as Skeletor precisely?
I don't know. I don't
What
know
what
how.
kind of dirt does this guy have like that he's getting in the He-Man movie?
Yeah, I don't know how we keep trying to make him a thing. But he definitely should not be a thing. Uh, because one of
Yeah,
the last things.
let's see if Taylor Kitsch wants to play Skeletor. Maybe he's around that weekend. Like what are we talking about?
What are
Like,
we even doing here?
there's got to be somebody out there that can do this. That's not Jared Leto.
We're like, guess what? We can't. Jared's the best we got right now.
Like you could get a Skarsgård. It'd be so much better at playing
Oh
Skeletor.
yeah, it would be that would be. You kidding me? You get Bill in there. Bill would crush that.
Even Stellan, man.
Well, yeah, dude, Stellan, a
Just
legend
like
in the game.
CGI Stellan Skarsgård Skeletor. I'd take that any day of the week over Jared Leto.
Absolute legend in the game. Jim, actually, as part of my last thing I jammed on. I just ran the gamut this past weekend. 4 days in a row, 4 nights spent at the movies. Went on a
Oh,
4 night run.
wow.
Yeah, and it was all over the place. We started it on Thursday with the comedy Good Fortune, the Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves, Aziz Ansari movie. Really fucking funny.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it is a shame that no one marketed it. So like no one knew it came out. So
That's
no
the
one went and
one
saw it.
Keanu is like
The guardian
angel
angel.
question
Yeah.
mark?
Yeah, he's the guardian angel for Aziz Ansari.
I literally didn't even know that Aziz Ansari and Seth Rogen were in it. I've seen
Yeah.
like commercials for the Keanu like angel movie.
Yeah, he body swaps, Keanu Reeves body swaps Aziz and Seth Rogen into each other's lives because Aziz Ansari is like down on his luck and just wants to have like money to know what it's like. And so he switches them so that Aziz can learn that having money doesn't solve all your problems. And
Oh,
the
and
other eight, yeah,
it's actually just pretty fucking awesome. Like that's
yeah,
that's
it's
the
like the
moral of the
best the
story.
best part of the whole movie is like is he's Keanu Reeves is explaining it to like his boss Angel, and he's like, I wanted to show him that like having money wouldn't solve all of his problems. And the other Angel goes like, okay, and Keanu just goes, it seems that money has solved most of his problems. It was really funny, and I hope it
Yeah.
catches on like home
That's
video
actually
and
that's a pretty
streaming.
funny premise for a movie because like I've heard like that's like a sentiment that exists in the world that like well money can't always solve your problems but people are like well no I mean kind
But
of
like, yeah, in this economy, like, yeah, it might not solve all my problems, but it's gonna solve a couple of them.
yeah I'm a big believer like money can't buy happiness but it can make you very comfortable like
Absolutely. Uh, I followed that comfortable up for night two. Saw Tron Ares. Speaking of Jared Leto.
oh boy yeah how'd that go
Oh my God, Jim. Horrible.
like I'm not crazy for hating everything that guy's in right
No, no, dude, he's just like so vapid and like there's just nothing there. Like he's just like not interesting to watch at all. Like it's, I will say though, for Tron Ares, the visuals were ridiculously good, and the music by Nine Inch Nails fucking shredded up through that movie.
Well,
Like,
yeah, like Tron, right? Tron's always gonna look really cool, and it's always gonna. If Daft Punk taught me anything, it's that the soundtrack is gonna kick ass.
yeah, yeah. So like, so at least had those two things going for it. Night three, we did the Black Phone 2, also garbage.
Oh, what did you think of the Black Phone one though?
It was fine.
I
I
like
didn't
the
hate.
original Black
Yeah,
Phone.
I liked it. It was solid.
My
But this one,
girlfriend didn't like it.
this
I
one is
like
just
I.
so
It has
boring.
one of the funniest lines of all time in it, the original, where she's like, "Yeah, 'cause I'm the fucking grabber, you fucking fart knockers."
Yeah. Like, oh
Like,
boy.
it's like one of the funniest things ever said in a movie. She calls like the two detectives fart
Yeah.
knockers.
What a delivery.
But but yeah, I thought the second one's interesting because it like delves more into like the supernatural stuff, right? Like what's his
Well,
name
it's
still in it,
just
even though he's like dead, kinda.
it's just a Nightmare on Elm Street. He's just made a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because he just appears to them in their dreams,
Now
and it's
here's
like,
the important question. Here's the
okay,
follow-up question that you absolutely know I have.
okay, ask it.
Do they go Dream Warriors at any point? Do they like
Not like crazily, but there is a moment where she learns that like she has power in her dream, and that's how like she's gonna like turn the tides.
Right, right. Okay, so yeah, I mean
So
it
yeah,
does go Dream Warriors,
yeah,
yeah.
but in Dream Warriors, like they literally have those points where they're like training their minds. Like she doesn't do any shit like that. Like,
Well, no, I think you're overestimating Dream Warriors because literally in Dream Warriors they like have that realization, and then 1 second later the guy's like, "In my dreams, I'm the Wizard Master," like, and then 3 seconds later Freddy's still killing them anyway. Like, it's not like it's if we
uh,
make it sound way more epic than it actually was in that movie, is how I would
yeah.
put it.
I mean, there's one specific aspect of the movie that really turns me off to it, but I don't want to say it because it's kind of like a spoilerish thing.
Yeah, don't.
So
I mean,
yeah,
that's one
so
I'll probably watch at
yeah,
some point.
yeah. So I won't go into that one, but like it was kind of boring for me. And then we finished off the 4 night run last night. No, not last night, during the day yesterday. because I went to a concert tonight. During the day yesterday, we caught the Julia Roberts movie After the Hunt.
Oh yeah, where she's like to that lady from The Bear. Not everything's supposed to make you comfortable.
I'm uncomfortable with this conversation, dude. Julia Roberts got in close to me and was like, "Not everything's supposed to make you comfortable." Said that line to me, like,
Be like, you know
I'd
what?
melt.
All of a sudden, I'm very uncomfortable, and you know what? It
I
feels
like
good.
it. Yeah.
You're right, Julia.
Julia, can you give me 5 seconds? I need to go change my underwear. But yeah, it was an epic 4 night run. I think my previous record was only three, so it was cool to do that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah, I
run.
mean, it sounds like a very 2025 4 night run. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean, of the 4 night run, the only movie that I'd ever want to like actually watch again would be Good Fortune. So take that what you will.
Which says a lot, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, those are the things we jammed on, people. Go out, check them out for yourself, form your own opinions on these movies as always, and make sure you tune in back next weekend for the absolute classic that is Jimmy Fallon's Taxi. And as always, we'll see you at the movies.